Howdy, everybody. It's Kenny. Thank you very much for joining us at this here Walking Dead podcast. I'm here joined by some of our special guests here on the Walking Dead podcast. We've got Luke. We've got his buddy Nick. We've got Wyatt, all the way from 400 Days. We got Sarah, and of course, we've got the lovely Miss Clementine too. I'm from Florida, and with that, I just completely turned off an entire demographic.
Everyone just
Everyone all of a sudden, what? 0 viewers?
It's okay, I'm from Florida. Excuse his racism.
If you guys have never been to my channel before, if you're here because of somebody else's channel, or if you're here just because you stumbled upon this podcast, welcome. My name is Angel Arts. You can also call me Hark. I am a big Walking Dead, Telltale games fan. I enjoy doing role-playing games, and my channel is mostly dedicated to Let's Plays that are very story-driven. And so thank you guys for joining all of us. It's great to see people not only from my viewers, but from the viewership of other people who are on the panel today. So just so that we can get a feel for everybody in the room, I wanted to take time to go around, and you all can each introduce yourself briefly. Tell us who you're dressed up as. And
I don't want to go first.
Tell us who you're dressed up as, and just very briefly tell us about what kind of games you enjoy playing and what we can expect from your channel if you have a channel. Okay? So I already went over mine. Let's go ahead to Kathleen. Why don't you go next, Kathleen?
Okay, I'm Kathleen Ems. My name's Kathleen. I really like anything The Walking Dead. I love the show, love the comics, love the game. I'm dressed as Clementine today. And I mostly do like Let's Plays and talks, kind of analysis things on my channel if you haven't checked that out. And yeah, I'm really excited to do this. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we go with Luke next?
Okay.
Jack 20.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Lucky Jack 20, also known as Logan. I am dressed as Luke today, and I was not actually a big fan of Walking Dead when I first started the games. I'd heard of the TV shows, the TV show and the comic, but after playing the Telltale games per recommendations such as Angel Art's recommendation of me playing it, I have been hooked since Season 1. I typically do more platformers and bit of racing games here and there. My channel, I primarily do Let's Plays, maybe doing some voice acting on the side, and I am acting so flubbed up and confused, even though this is not my first time live streaming. This is my first time live streaming with a face cam, like so to speak, and hoping that I don't screw up. Hoping things don't freeze up or whatever.
Okay, let's move on to Reclusiarch.
All right, I'm Reclusiarch, also known as David, and I'm a Let's Player here on YouTube. I do all kinds of story-based games, anything from role-playing games to shooters. As long as there's good story and characters, I'm on it. I'm dressed up as Wyatt from the 400 Days DLC, and as far as Walking Dead goes, I was not a big fan at all of the show, and I didn't think much of season when I first heard of Season 1, the Telltale, the game. So I decided to not Let's Play it. I'm just gonna watch it, and wow, I regret that so much, because that was an amazing game to watch, and I kind of hate myself for not Let's Playing it. So I've been a huge fan of the Walking Dead game since I saw it first. I think it was Angel Arts. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's me.
Okay. Cells Leader Carson.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Carson. I'm also known as Selves Leader Carson, the awesome one. I am a gamer. I'm a Let's Player. I usually play scary games, RPG games, or Telltale games, if you want to go specific. I am Also, I also I'm also starting it's a new thing called doing reaction videos, just to see what fans want me to watch, or because there's very little representation of what I call the underdog YouTubers. I want to do like what the Fine Bros do and react to what I think, um, what real underdog YouTubers say instead of just the idol YouTubers. I am currently dressed up as Nick from Season 2, Episode 2, 3, if you kept him alive, and 4. And honestly, this is my first time live streaming with everybody, or yet alone just now. Like, just to me. I've never live streamed ever. I'm a little reluctant to do it, but here I am.
And then, last but not least, we have a fresh new face joining us today, a special guest. This young lady is a fellow viewer, a big fan of the series. Her name is Alexandra. Today, Alexandra, why don't you just tell us briefly, as much or as little as you'd like, about yourself and who you're dressed up as today.
Yeah, hi. I'm dressed up as Sarah today because she's my favorite character so far of the season. And I sadly don't have a YouTube channel. Good luck to someday. I love the series. I've been a big fan since 400 Days came out. And I'm really happy to be here today because English is not my first language, and this is a great time to practice. So yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having us, for being here with us today, Alexander. We're excited to hang out with you.
We love having new people here.
So I guess right now we're gonna start off by, a lot of you have already started asking questions. So
I know, I'm still trying to read through most of them.
Why don't I try to go through them orderly and try to knock out as many as we can, and then depending on what conversations start off from that. This is really supposed to be very laid back. Everyone here is going to make sure that everybody has a chance to speak. My role here is to ensure that everything goes smoothly, and people have a chance to talk and answer whatever questions they need to answer. So just bear with us as we go through this, and I'll try to go through every person's question as we move along. So I'm just going through the list right now. And the first actual question I think somebody asked is, okay, so just to reiterate, how long will it be? Right now, I think that one of us has to leave in about 2 or 3 hours. Is that right, Lucky Jack? You have about
2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
2 or 3 hours. So most likely we won't go any further than that, and I think that's a good amount of time for us to have this continue anyway. Excited for season 5 tomorrow.
Yes, I am. And the same guy asked me, what is it? If I'm gonna do a reaction video to every episode of season 5. I don't know if I'm allowed to, because if I show it on the screen, I'm gonna get copyrighted. Well.
How many people, just out of curiosity, are following the TV show up to 8? It's Carson, myself as well.
Me.
So is Kathleen.
I'm planning probably over Thanksgiving break to catch up on my Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from what I see here, there's a person named 20XX Lightning XX20 saying she's a big Walking Dead and Kathleen fan.
Yay!
Aww.
You're a big fan, Kathleen. Now let's push it to the side.
I don't like you.
Oh.
Yeah.
David doesn't follow the show, and Alexander, you follow the show too?
No, I actually don't like it. I try to watch it, but it's not my kind.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh man.
Don't talk to any of them.
No, just out of curiosity, I think it's a legitimate question. Just out of curiosity, what is it about the video game that you like that the TV show doesn't have, or what is it about the TV show that you don't like, but you like the video game?
I tried to watch the first episode of the series, and I don't know, I didn't like it. And I've seen on internet all the romantic plots the series has, and I don't like that kind of stuff. So I prefer the game because it's a bond between this bond between Lee and Clementine. That's what got me.
Mm.
more
Yeah, and the
legitimate, more real.
representation it has, all the people of color the game has. It's just that's what got me, and the story, the ending, everything.
How about you, Reclusiarch?
Well, kind of the same actually. I mean, I'm a sucker for romance, but that romance arc just didn't do it for me at all. And I like the game because I gave up on season on Walking Dead, the TV show, on season 2, I think. So I don't know if this is, but actually in the game there's a lot of moral choices. What you're willing to do to what you're willing to sacrifice to survive and stuff like that. And I think that Telltale makes a much better Walking Dead experience than the show.
More immersive and stuff.
Yeah, more immersive. It speaks to me in more ways.
Absolutely. As a quick question to those who watched the show, because I remember seeing it on Funny Junk about a week ago, and I just want to know if I was getting an accurate representation. Someone said the post was the Walking Dead TV show in a nutshell, and it was just two things. One, everyone tells Carl to stay in the house. Two, Carl doesn't stay in the house.
Yes.
Enter in episode done. Is that how it works?
Yeah. Well,
I think so. We don't want to get too much into spoilers because not everybody watching has seen the show.
I think
let's
it
get to
gets
the next
better.
question.
Just
I'm going to read this one from. Oh God, they keep popping in. I can't keep up. Okay, here's one from. I think his name. I might say this wrong. Wayne Gardner. He asks, I'm assuming he means the games. Which season did you guys enjoy the best? 1 or 2?
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Which one? That would be the question. Which season did we enjoy the most? Season 1.
I know my answer. It's definitely season 1 because
I was gonna say season 1.
because even though I loved so much about season 2, like it was great getting to see Clementine grown up, and episode 1 was amazing, and the last episode was amazing. But I really liked episode 1, but season 1 was great because of Lee Everett. He was a great character, and the chemistry that Clementine and Lee Everett had was amazing, and they just together. It was just so much feels, and yeah.
I was gonna agree. I would say that season 2, I definitely, especially in episode 5, I did like the complexity of like how different. Because I remember I was like saying I want there to be different endings than just simple black and white, good or bad, and then in episode 5's ending, there were so many like different ways it could have ended. I did appreciate that, but I think just the people I met and the bonds I made just felt stronger in season 1 because I had more time to because as I told you guys, I had more time to spend with those characters and get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to each episode, 7 people die now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna agree with that. Season 2, just as Kathleen said, had a really good start and a good ending. It's slow in the middle, but I still liked it. But all in all, I think season 1 was a more complete package, both emotionally and gaming experience-wise, because I like that season 1 was a bit more gamey. It had some more puzzles to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of missed that in season 2, which was more like, Telltale game, the dialogue choice game,
And
which is okay. I love it, but
And oh no, for puzzles, the dreaded windmill puzzle. How could we ever have deciphered how to turn off a windmill?
Hey,
That's right.
that could have been very difficult for a situation like that. But I guess it'll be my turn. I honestly, I'm gonna be the opposite voice on both of these guys. I loved season 2 more because there was more action, there was more intensity, there was more where you could somewhat bond with them and get to know them for like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and there was more of, I guess the word is, more threats around Clementine and the group, because there's actual people, there's zombies, and you gotta remember, like, okay, which one is the bigger threat when it comes to like the situation of trying to survive. And I like that where it's all about survival and trying to make tough decisions. I mean, season 1 had very tough decisions, don't get me wrong, but I loved season 2's decisions too, because it puts you in the eyes of a child and see how you can survive in that kind of world.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
just
have
like that.
I have kind of a mix. Like I like season 2 more than season 1 up to episode 3, but when it comes to episode 4 of season 2, season 1 is the best. Like episode 4 was just like season 2 is over for me in episode 4 because it was so bad. So up from episode 4, I like season 1 more.
I'm going to say for me that I do enjoy season 1 more. I think part of it's because it was the our first experience with a Telltale Walking Dead game. So going in, you aren't really sure what to expect, and I think when you're experiencing those kind of things for the first time, it probably you remember it more. And again, just to not to repeat, but I think season 1 paced itself better in the sense that you had time to actually get attached. It took more time to emphasize getting attached to the characters, and when they died, I felt the impact more. Episode 3 of season 1 will always be the one that I remember the most. And of course, the very last scene of episode 5 in season 1 just hit me really hard. And I think when you go to season 2, I don't want to say that you're desensitized, but I think that going to season 2 after what you've been through in season 1, you kind of know what to expect on an emotional level, and therefore you're more prepared for it. So that's my answer.
Yeah, but I also like how season 2 was it had evolved from season 1 in the quick time events. It was like just like you said, Mr. Carson, that it is more dynamic. It is more action.
That's the word I was
I
looking
kind of
for.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
did.
season 2, one of the things I like more about season 2 is that the good so many female characters, like so many amazing female characters.
Oh,
And they
don't
have
get
a
Kathleen
female
started yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what got me. But in episode 4, it got totally ruined.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking, how did you make the beard? This is from Faraz to hear. So really quickly, I didn't make the beard. I actually, I would love to say that I grew this out myself.
You chopped it off. You chopped it off.
Bullshit.
I just saw the real Kenny, and I'm like, just
You took it off his dead body.
Okay.
wanted his protection. No,
Mark may be talented. I don't think he's talented to make a beard. Just out of out of nowhere.
I just got this from Amazon, I think, as a costume, and then just made liberal uses of silver of
Nice.
The gray hair.
silver spray paint to make it, and I did a little bit of my actual hair too.
Oh no!
Nice.
So tried to do the eyebrows. I go all out.
That's a
it's
good effect, man. Yeah.
Halloween, so.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again, moving along. Brother Ralph says, "Well done, guys. Getting there when it went offline, I felt bad for saying to try to get the Q&A, but Brother Ralph, I think that
This has definitely helped me a lot with this, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. This is much better.
So I have another question for you guys if you want to hear it
Okay.
from Eric. I definitely want to answer one of his questions because he's an awesome viewer of mine. He watches like all my videos. So Aaron asks, who are your favorite characters in both seasons and 400 Days?
Well, that's one of the questions that Aaron, had.
I was gonna say.
Did you already say that question?
Yeah, I was going to answer that question. I was going to ask that question.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say though, like for that question, would it be acceptable if we ban using just the protagonist Lee, Clem, or whatever as your answer? It has to be like side character.
Definitely.
Who asked that question, by the way, Kathleen?
Aaron.
Aaron, I'm just trying to find that in the
Aaron
Q&A.
88.
Are you able to
Aaron.
select it by any chance?
It's I think it's on the YouTube, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I was about to read it for
On
you
the
guys.
YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
I sound like an old man.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. If I couldn't choose Lee or Clem, which I don't want to because that's too obvious of a choice, I think my favorite character probably it's probably going to be Kenny from season 2 because that's how a normal person would react in that kind of world situation. They just after losing their family, you start to become more aggressive. You start to feel more sad and depressed inside, where you feel like you want to die, but you still have something to live for and protect people and people you care about specifically. And when he's like becoming the guardian of AJ Jr. Of AJ, I thought that was really a human side of him, and now he had a new purpose to live to just make sure this kid gets good care. So I would have to choose Kenny.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, I love you, Kenny. I always have. No.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
I'll go after someone else.
I have to think
Okay.
about mine.
Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Say what?
Okay, so season 1, it's if you can't choose Lee or Clementine, it's definitely Molly, because I really like those tomboyish, capable women.
Molly?
Yeah, isn't that the name?
Oh yeah, that is her name.
Yeah, there is. From season 1. So the 400 Days DLC, I think my favorite was actually Wyatt. You know.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. I mean, you actually just want to point this out, even for the viewers to look at. I think he almost actually does look like Wyatt when you look at it.
He does look really. He does look really.
I'd like to thank.
I feel like you were like the model. They like, hey, we're gonna pick this guy and let's just work with it.
And I'd like to thank Tidepool for saying that I actually look good with long hair. You know, I cannot fabulous.
You look like you're ready to kick some ass. You do. Oh, sorry, we're not allowed to cuss on the stream.
Oh no.
And when it came to season 2, it's definitely Jane, who is my favorite. I mean, how can you not love that girl? I mean, I know many hate her after the last episode, but
I do.
I just can't do it. She's just so likable.
And you also have a secret crush on her.
I don't think there's anything secret about it.
She will be mine. She will be mine.
She's capable. She knows what needs to be done, but she's not like. She's still got emotions. She's not like all that tough girl. I don't care about anything. So yeah, totally Jane. So that's my three picks.
Yes. My season one favorite characters. Obviously, the very first one is Doug because he's so adorable. I like him.
You made Angel happy.
Yeah, I like him because I have this need to protect him because everyone chooses Carly, and because of that, I have this need to protect him. Because he has so little fans, so few fans. I don't know how to say it. Sorry.
He's the underdog. You mean he's the underdog?
Yeah, and after him comes Ben and Lily. And in 400 Days, my favorite characters are basically all the guys, Wyatt, Russell, and Vince. But my favorite, I think I'm somewhere between Wyatt and Russell.
Ooh,
And
Nice.
Wyatt is just so cute. I think he's so cute. It's
Oh.
so
No, don't get him
You
started.
know,
Our Swedish guy is blushing now. Alexandra, I'm just curious, what you didn't like about the females in 400 Days?
No, I thought no. It's not that I didn't like them. I thought their stories were kind of boring.
Okay.
I thought their stories were kind of boring, while the guys' stories were really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and in season 2, my favorite characters up to episode 3 were Luke and Nick.
No.
And in episode 4, Sarah became my favorite until now.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a lot more about Sarah in just a moment. Did everybody get a chance to answer?
My season.
Okay.
My season 1 favorite characters. I liked Omid. Because I could see myself as that type of guy who would still be able to start cracking jokes or just kind of still try and keep high morale and positive atmosphere around the place. trying to think of anyone else. Next favorite probably would be I forget her name. The woman with the gun.
Lily?
Lily.
Lily, yes.
Oh, Lily was your second favorite. Okay.
I like
Why is
Lily.
that?
I love Lily.
Because she had a good. Just want to make sure we are talking about Lily, the one who didn't go insane, the one who.
The one who shot Carly or Doug in the,
No.
season
Then it's Carly I'm thinking of. I'm talking of.
Oh, you're talking about Carly.
Sorry,
Oh,
that
the
girl. That
Hey,
woman.
she's still good looking. I'd take her anytime.
Whatever.
It's okay, Carly. Yes.
I liked her because she had a nice calm head on her shoulders. She didn't seem like she was going, she totally was not, becoming destructive like Lily was. She wasn't like losing it in front of her. Like she always like when I needed her help the most, she always seemed to like be able to do it without too much hesitation or too much like, freaking out or something. Like back in episode 2 when she saved my butt at the dairy farm and episode 1 or whatever. So I like Carly. 400 Days DLC definitely. I'm so bad with names right now. My mind's just going to blur right now. The man who the young kid.
Russell.
Russell. I liked Russell's story the most because he seemed like he was. I actually don't even have a reason for why I like Russell. I just like him.
He seems like he's the most pure-hearted character, honestly.
Yeah,
he's just like a good guy, and he seems like a fun guy too to be around. Yeah.
And I feel as though I feel as though he was met with the most like direct like. I felt the most tense and at unease in his story, which I liked having that feeling of not being able to trust someone, as I did with that individual. Season 2, liked Luke.
I can see that clearly.
Oh shush. And and I did come to enjoy Jane, and like, for pretty much every reason that Carson's saying, besides the aforementioned love triangle thing.
For me, this doesn't come to a surprise for anyone who saw my videos, but season 1 was Doug. For similar reasons as Alexandra, when I chose Doug over Carly, I didn't realize that he wasn't picked as much as Carly. I had no clue at the time. But as the story progressed, I just loved his personality. He was the anchor. He was the voice of reason. He was very intelligent. I'm a big sucker for guys who are intelligent. And I don't know, he was cute in that parents' basement sort of way. And then in 400 Days.
You gotta come with that one.
Oh, I got to only say my one choice, but okay, I'll go with the future.
In 400 Days, I'm actually surprised my answer when I thought about it. Nathaniel in 400 Days, which was the guy that Russell runs into, who's like messing with him. I did not like him as a person, but I loved to hate his character. He was the character of all of the characters in 400 Days. He was the one that stuck in my mind the most, and I thought that they did a great job designing his character, which is why I was kind of surprised that they didn't utilize him in season 2. But there's always season 3. So you never know.
Yes.
And then as for season 2.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew you would call it, say Luke, but he ain't coming back. It's okay.
Oh,
Even I know the truth. All right. There's a lot of people dropping questions, so
I want to point out something.
Oh wait, I didn't answer mine yet.
Oh, sorry.
Someone just walked by and turned off the lights in this room I'm in.
That's
Why
awkward.
did they do that? Why did they do that? I'm in here.
Logan, just stay away from frozen lakes. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna go back up and turn that light. Jeez.
Yeah, go fix it.
Kathleen, let's let Kathleen answer her question, and then we can move on to the next one.
Okay, well, obviously my favorite character from the first season is the Stranger because I think he's really cute. He's totally my type.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
He's married. There's that too.
Surprise!
Married.
Surprise!
With a dead zombie head, remember?
No, okay, anyways. I was joking, guys. And I think I really like I like Omid because he seems like the kind of person that I'd like to spend time with. Like, he seems like someone that would become my bro, you know? Like, he's just a fun person. And I can't think of anyone else that I liked more than Lee in the first season, so I'm guessing I'm going to say Omid. Also, Molly was really cool. I think there should have been a lot more of her in the first season.
Maybe she might appear later.
Yeah. In 400 Days, I really liked Russell, just because I thought his story was the most interesting, and I thought that he was, well, again, like someone that I could see as my bro. Like, I could totally hang out with him. He just seems like a cool person. And for the second season, I would say Jane definitely, and also Luke, because Luke is such a sweet person, and you kind of just he's one of those characters you just like immediately. Like, I just immediately liked him. And you know, there was this whole thing with Jane and Luke where they both became like siblings to Clementine, or they like Luke kind of became like a big brother to her, and like Jane became this big sister to Clementine, and I really liked that.
Well, I only got to say one. If I got multiple choices, I guess I could say I agree with Angel Arts on the 400 Days thing. I liked what was his name? Nathaniel?
Nate.
Oh, Nate. Yeah, I liked Nate because he's that kind of personality that you really don't want to like at all, and he really makes a very classic villain. Like, this is the kind of guy is your antagonist. But if I had to choose someone in season 1, I actually, this might sound pretty funny, but I actually liked Duck in season 1. I like Duck. He was like that energy and that positive feeling that you want to love. I mean that's what kids should feel like back in that time, and even they should feel it now. And you know, he always cheered me up for some reason. He always did, and I liked that. And I wish we had more characters like him, or I'm hoping we get more characters like him.
I still think he looked like Sid from Toy Story.
Yes.
You did?
Like, if
totally.
you look at Duck and Sid from Toy
Sounds
Story.
like him too.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So Yakov, again, trying to stay in order as much as possible. Yakov, aka MSTVD, asks, "Were you guys disappointed with Nick's death?" And it's okay, MSTVD, that you did not translate Arvo's lines. It's perfectly cool.
It's right here. It's right here.
Anyone disappointed at all with Nick's death?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Just say it. Say it. I'm
Go
ready.
ahead, Alexandra.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Because as I said, Nick was one of my favorite up to that point, and I thought he was going to get such an amazing scene before he died. Like before Ben dies, he gets this beautiful scene when he finally stands up for himself, and I thought Nick was going to get the same, even more because they kept him alive on episode 3. I thought they were saving him for this amazing scene where, I don't know, he did something really cool, and then he just appears as a zombie with a neck bite on with a bite on his neck. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, what did you just do? What were you thinking? Like, it was so stupid. I was so mad. I wasn't even sad. I was so mad. And basically that's it. I was so disappointed.
Okay.
Well, I agree with Alexandra or Sarah at the moment because, you know, I'm first off dressed as Nick, and I really liked Nick as a character. He really he kind of is like most people these days. Like, they will act on something first, and then when they realize it was a stupid decision, they'll regret it later and try to apologize and make it up. And it's he was just a really good character overall. I felt really disappointed that he didn't go have a heroic scene where he's like, you know what, for once in my life I'm gonna stand up and be the man I should be, like people want me to be, and go sacrifice himself or something. And when I see him dead like that, or unless you killed him in episode 2, or I was really disappointed in it. I was like, oh no, I gotta do this. I'm so sorry, Luke. You were always an awesome character, even if you got little dialogue time. And I just don't know how to describe it. He was just a good character that died in a very poor way.
It's like they just threw him off, like, yeah, we're done with this character. You just kill him off.
Yeah.
I will agree. I will agree with that. It definitely did seem like they were just kind of like trying to sweep him under the rug without being noticed. To me, I didn't really like him as much of a character, especially since after episode 2, like for most of episode 3 and the beginning of episode 4, he really just kind of blended in the background. Like they didn't really give him a lot of attention after that. So he was not really one of my main characters I really cared about. So, but I do agree that his death seemed both sudden and sort of just. I don't want to say not lazily put in, just very just trying not to draw a lot of attention to it. Just, oh, he's dead, by the way. There you go, that's a thing.
Okay, go ahead, Kathleen.
I was just gonna say thanks, Silent Boss and Man Band, for wishing me a happy gay day. This is the anniversary of the day I came out, so yay!
Oh,
Yay! Awesome sauce! Awesome.
Yeah, I came out a year ago today, so, but anyways, yeah. You can continue.
Okay. Nick was, for me, a big parenthesis. He's like, he was there, and like he died, and I'm like, okay. That just happened? I'm like, okay, now I can chop his head off.
You don't love me, I understand.
He has some good scenes when he apologized, but after that, I'm like, oh, all right. He died.
This is why I wanted you to go.
Apology. I remember that. You didn't expect it.
This is why I wanted you to go first, Reclusiar, because I knew you'd answer the question for me. Every time I'm just like, I agree.
Like a big sigh.
Yeah.
And I have to disagree a bit with Alexandra and Carson here, and Logan. That I actually like that not all deaths are like these big heroic set pieces. They die. That happens in The Walking Dead, and you see them. But I can sympathize with you because you really like the character. But I also like the way that it's just people just die.
I know, but it felt like so lazy writing. As I said, it was just like, we're done with this character. Just get rid of him already.
Remember the Kathleen roller coaster theory?
What was that again?
You know, when you went like, oh, episode 2 is my least favorite. Episode 3 is my least favorite. Episode 4 is my least favorite.
And then shoots up.
The roller coaster theory.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Carson, you said you wanted to answer Dawnforge Cast's question.
Yeah, did we get to hear your answer first off?
Sure, I can give my answer. I think that I would have been more disappointed in Nick's death if I was more attached to him. So repeating what a lot of people said, I would be a lot more disappointed. His death felt a lot like Chuck's death in Season 1 because Chuck died off camera. A bunch of characters, I think, when they die off camera, you kind of feel slighted a little bit. You feel a little cheated because you would have wanted to have been present for their last moments. And I guess it hurts more if you weren't there to see their last moments, and maybe that's why a lot of people are disappointed with it. But I think that I was at that point used to it by now, and I guess it didn't help that I already knew that Nick we could have lost episodes ago. So when he finally went, I was like, okay, well there it is. Like it was coming. I knew it was coming, and you anticipated it.
You just want to kill me off, don't you? You just want to kill me off.
More than he's dead, I was disappointed on Luke's reaction because I always thought that when Nick died, when Nick finally died, Luke was going to get this big reaction, and now his death was he absolutely did nothing. Like he knew he was dead, he looked sad, and that was it.
That's true.
That's such lazy writing. It wasn't the characters, it was the writing of the episode.
I never thought about that. Luke's reaction. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
He would have reacted better with that.
His death was realistic, but Luke's reaction wasn't, because they were friends for 20 years. Like, come on.
That's
Writers,
true.
what are you doing?
Very good point.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's the question from Dawn's Forge Cast on the YouTube one. It says, question/topic. Have you all gone back to the game and replayed it, making different choices? I find that it just feels strange or wrong to alter it anyway. It was done, that was my way go, and that is what I take away. What about you all?
Kathleen, you go first.
I think I did that once. like, because I like to stick with the decisions I make. I feel like it means more to me. I want to feel like I'm making the decision in the moment. So if I make a bad decision, I just gotta live with it, just like I would if it was real life. Like, that's kind of the joy of playing it, is that like intense feeling you get when you have to make a decision in a really chaotic situation. And I think the first time, like in the season 1, when we had to chop off that character's leg, and that's when it really hit me, like, oh my god, like this is how I would react if I'm like in this situation. I would just get into action. So I think the only time I decided to do something different was who I tried to save when I played. I actually wanted to see what happened if I saved. Who's the other character you can save? Nick? Or is that episode 4 or something? No, wait, no, it's episode 2.
Wait, in season 1 or 2?
Season 2.
You can either say. I don't know. There's a point.
You know, like one guy gets
Pete
bit,
or Nick?
and then you can save Nick or something.
Oh, Pete.
Pete, yeah.
That's
so
episode 1. Yeah.
I saved Pete because I wanted to see what would happen, and then I just kind of went with that save, I think. Just to like I was like curious, and I kind of liked how it played out, so I just went with it. So yeah. But
I would
most of the time, I
personally.
never did that.
Yeah. I would personally never go back and redo my choices. I like to live with my choices, but I'm a bit of a special case because I didn't. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, I didn't play the first one blind, so I already knew all the choices I was gonna make. So going into 400 Days DLC, I already had the perfect save for me. So yeah. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stick to it.
I also would probably not go back and replay, just because I feel as though what I did best captured my own like genuine, honest reactions to things, and how I remember like some of us were discussing that, where season 1 was the best way for us to be able to truly become immersed and be someone, because we didn't know a whole lot about League going into it. But when you start season 2, you have all of the pre-established personality and demeanor of Clementine going into it. So I remember I think at least one of us in our main group wanted to like role play as Clementine throughout the whole thing and not as themselves.
I think that was either David or that was Angel Arts.
And I'm not saying that would make it for. I'm not saying that would make for a worse off game or experience. No, it's still an awesome game. Just I just don't. I'm getting off topic. Crap. I would not go back and replay it because
You were tempted, though. I think in our last podcast you were tempted to change your ending.
Because the Kenny ending did seem way cooler, but I think
more emotional.
Definitely more emotional, but I think I'm going to stick with mine.
Okay.
If we go into season 3 with anything that happened at the end of season 2, or we move on to a different character altogether, we don't know, but that'll be. Yeah, I just spent like 3 minutes trying to answer a 2-second question. Would I go back? No.
For me, I don't ever go back. At least I did once in season 1, and Hawk chewed me. I was like, "Don't do that again, Carson. Bad Carson. Bad Carson." And I was like, "I'm sorry. That was not the decision I was expecting to make." But no, I don't ever go back on the story again, because it feels like you're cheating the game a little bit. Like you're cheating your decisions. It's not fun anymore if you play it again and you know what the decisions are going to be and you want to just see what the other one is. If you do it out of curiosity, it's a different story. But if you do it just like, you know what, I just want to change my ending because I hate this ending and I want to see what it looks like in the future, then you are cheating yourself, and it's not something I could support, because I was taught that once you make a decision, just stand by it and just go with it, and just go with where it has to go from there. So, but I would play it just to see what it would be the result, just for my own curiosity, but I wouldn't make that my full-grown decision.
Alexandra? Or
I have never played the game, sadly. But so if I played it, I of course would make the decisions, not the perfect decisions. I would make mistakes because there are a lot of decisions where if it was me making the decision, I would make the bad one per se because I always screw things up. So kind of I know.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
See that?
I know what decisions I would make, and they wouldn't be the perfect decisions. Like I would make a lot of mistakes on purpose if I played the game, and I wouldn't go back. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So, because there's so many questions, and I want to try to get to as many of your questions as possible, I think what we'll be doing going forward is you are able to rate, like put a like on specific people's questions.
Yeah, I see that.
If you like somebody's questions and they get a lot of likes, they'll be gravitated to the top. Like there's a question right now that has a +6.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, what's
And
your
we
opinion
can-
of Ben?
That'll help us to determine which questions you really want us to answer, and we can go that way, get that route. So
Let the popularity poll begin.
before though, I want to make sure that I make sure that my snack is available. I have my and
Yes.
this actually is a peaches. It actually is peaches because I love.
Oh my God!
This is for you, Kathleen.
Oh,
went.
it's so cute.
It's with Clementine right now.
Wow.
It looks like Clementine.
Anyway,
Wow, you went all out there.
so excuse me if I start snacking in the middle of in the middle of.
I should've-
Aren't
I should've-
clementines like actually oranges?
They are.
Yeah, they are.
I should go and actually like buy some or something.
Carson, would you like to say the #1 question on the top right now?
What is your opinion of Ben?
Sent by ManBand20.
Oh no.
Thank you, hipster. Thank you, hipster Ariel. Let us begin.
Oh no, I don't know if I'm ready to answer this question. I'm really, really not ready to answer it, but I guess I will.
What did you say? I don't understand.
What is your opinion of Ben?
What is your opinion of Ben? That's
What do
the
you think?
question.
What do you think of him from season 1? Ben.
Do you like Ben? Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know how to answer this because I'm a split with Ben. I love Ben as a character. He was really funny. Like for me, he was funny once you got to know him for a while. He was always like scared, and I hate it when he got people into trouble that was worse than where they were before. And like I want to hate you, but I love you at the same time. When you do that heroic speech at the ending, and I see you die crappy, it's so sad. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. I guess I could say I'm mutual with Ben. I think he's an okay character.
Okay. Anybody else want to answer that question?
Kathleen.
I feel like he's not the kind of person that should be in a zombie apocalypse. Like he's too sweet of a person, and that's why he sucks in being a survivor. You know what I mean?
He's a sweet person. That's why he sucks. Kathleen.
No, it's like sweet people always die. They always die. I'm just saying, like you have to be hardened as a person to survive in this kind of world.
Yeah.
So, you know, because you have to see horrible things, and I just think he would be a great person like in a normal environment, but because of the apocalypse, it's like he can't handle all the stress and stuff.
He's not compatible with.
Yeah, but he's a cool person. I just feel bad for him, like, you know. I
feel bad for Ben pretty much all of season 1 because he seemed like even in episode 3 when it was found out he was doing the whole sin or whatever, he was doing that because he was thinking he was going to help. You know, he was protecting his family, his group of people that he was with, and when that totally backfired, the whole time it was him just trying to make it up to someone who really just can't have his opinions changed very easily on people. So
Yeah.
I don't hate Ben. I don't love him, but I do just feel sorry for him because the things could have been so much better for him had the zombies not been a thing.
So you took my words. Luke.
I just feel like Ben he's a guy who has the best intentions. Like he's trying to save the group. Like, look, I found this hatchet. I'm gonna save you. Look,
Mhm.
I helped you with these bandits so they don't attack us.
Mhm.
And he just keeps making such bad judgment calls all the time. And he's not a bad person per se. I mean, he could be any one of us. He just make very bad calls. And just like Kathleen and some of you others said, that he's a bit too blue-eyed for the apocalypse. But
Yeah.
what really brought me back, he brought me back in his good graces. How do you say that? He came back to my good graces.
He won you
Gracious.
over. Yeah, good graces.
Can't we just have this in Swedish instead? When he told Lee to drop him because he felt that he was such a burden on the group that he was willing to sacrifice his own life to make it better. I mean, who can do? I mean, that's awesome, but horrible as well. But so I don't blame him actually. I kind of like him. He wasn't in the right place. Yep.
Okay. In all honesty, I had a crush on Ben. Like this really big
Aw.
crush on Ben. When season 1, when 400 Days came out, and I became a really big fan of the game, I had this big crush on Ben. I thought he was so cute.
Aw.
And because he was my age, he was 2 years older than me when I was a fan of the game, and it's just I love his voice. His voice was got me, and also when I look at him,
Had a good voice.
when I look at him, when I look at him, I see myself because I see this teenager who screws everything up, and just I see myself on him. It's just. Yeah, and because the bell tower, when he asks Lee to drop him, that's totally what I would do if I was in that situation. But while I'm telling the person who's holding me, drop me, I'm internally screaming, please save me. But I'm telling the person, just let me go. And I just feel, plus he's a big brother. I have this really soft spot for big brothers. He said that he has a little sister, and it's just he's perfect, and his eyes and his hair and everything about him.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Alexandra.
Yeah, and now I'm only 1 year younger than him.
Cool. So again, people who've seen my videos, Ben, I'm a sucker for underdogs, and Ben was despised and hated by a lot of people. Not everyone, but a lot of people didn't like his character, and I think that ended up making me like him more because I felt bad for him. I felt like he needed some love. I don't know. Ben was always the kid that I always just wanted to give him a hug every time I saw him, even though, yes, he has made some horrible decisions, and some of them actually ended up costing people's lives. But he never intended for any of it to happen, and that's not necessarily a valid excuse when you've killed a family member or a close friend of yours. But I don't know. I always had a soft spot for Ben, and to be perfectly honest, I have to agree with you, Alexandra. I kind of thought he was cute too, but I don't think that was a primary reason why I liked his character. I think it was sad to see the way that he died because he never got a chance to prove himself. But like David said, people just die without, and that's it. Like they don't have like this big giant way of going out all the time, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. And that's what makes him, I think, a really tragic character. And I ache for those kind of characters. So, Kathleen, why don't you go ahead and read the next highest question?
Okay, I guess the next one would be, what are your expectations for Season 3?
Sent in
by Silent Boss, I believe.
009.
Under, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Silent Boss 009.
Mm-hmm.
So should I answer first? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so there's also a lot of questions. I've seen a lot of questions about like whether or not Clementine will be in Season 3. And so I think we can kind of put this in that question too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be really weird if they didn't have Clementine as the protagonist. I don't know why they wouldn't have her as the protagonist. I mean, I guess they could have had the baby as like little like what's his name again?
AJ.
AJ, yeah,
Alvin
AJ
Alvin
Jr.
Jr.
But
among the
I think
hardcore
it's going to
edition.
be Clementine because there's so much more of her story to tell. I want to find out. I think I think she's going to be reunited with what's her name? I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names.
Krista.
Krista. Yeah. I think she'll be reunited with Krista, and that you'll get to find out what happened, but in that like gap of months, because I feel like there was so much development that could happen. Because like when she showed fear over holding AJ, that showed that like something had happened to that baby that Krista had, and that had developed Clementine, had kind of hardened her, and that could have been a traumatic experience for her. And so I don't know what happened with the baby, but I think that might be expanded on in the next season. I think that we're going to kind of find out what happened. I think that, hopefully, I think that Clementine might be a couple years older. That would be really cool to kind of see her. I would really like to see her in her preteen years because I think that would just be a really cool time to see her grow up even more. Because I think as we're playing this, I kind of see myself as Clementine, but I also see myself as Lee in a way, like Lee's ghost kind of carrying on and watching over as her guardian, and so it's kind of like I'm vicariously living through like Lee's spirit and like seeing her like grow up, and so there's this like satisfaction in seeing her grow up and seeing her survive, and I think that it wouldn't be the same if we didn't get that satisfaction of seeing her grow up and survive. So yeah, that's my prediction. I have a lot of thoughts about that, so I have a lot to say. But
my prediction for season 3 is I do think that Clementine will be in it. Personally, I would be all right if she was just a side character, or like she was just an NPC that you, as the new protagonist, would interact with. Now that she is now that she's becoming very much experienced with the world that they live in right now. To now have her be someone else that we interact with and whatever. I guess then from that could maybe transition to maybe a really big year, definitely several years transition to maybe the baby. I don't know. I would like to see Krista return because we still don't know exactly what happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
And any other characters would probably just be best saved for the. I did see a question down in this list somewhere of who would we like to see return, Kenny style or otherwise, in season 3.
Mm-hmm. I think brother Ralph asked that, right?
Yeah. So I'll wait until that one to say anything else about that topic in particular. But I really, really would like Telltale to have a different button system for QuickTime events than Q. Because the first time it happened, it was a very nice. It was a nice feeling of actually having panic and, oh crap, I have to hit that now, and then E with the rush and panic. Even though I don't like QuickTime events too much, see Resident Evil 6 and blah blah blah. But just once I realized it's always been the Q and E combo, those moments never really seemed scary for me. They just seemed like just a unnecessary hurdle I had to do. It's like, okay, Q, and okay, get me through the door, thank you. So if they were to, even if they had like 2 other combinations, maybe Z and C or S and R, I don't know, something, just 2 other combinations they could cycle just to keep myself on my toes during those situations, I could see maybe the mechanics of it. That and I like the from season 1, I like the system where I could hit the number 1, 2, or 3, or 4 to quickly select an option instead of having to mouse over it.
Yeah.
But that's more technical stuff than the actual plot. But that's my thing for season 3. Because I don't know enough about the Walking Dead universe to make any comprehensive guesses for season 3.
Well, they haven't really tied that much from the comics in, but.
Well, for my expectations, I do agree with Kathleen that we are probably going to see Krista for sure. I do believe we are going to see her. I'm not even debating that now. Because when she got Kenny right, I'm just gonna, not gonna feel
right.
Yeah, not always with the Luke thing. We're gonna have a talk about that later.
Nope, he's coming back. Oh, I forgot to mention that Luke's coming back.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I was just gonna say I agree with Kathleen that that Krista's probably gonna come back, but I feel like she's gonna also like because she lost her child. I feel like we're gonna get into that because in episode 5 we feel like something bad did happen during that time spree, like what Kathleen mentioned. I think it was like what was it, 19 months? How long was it, guys? That it passed.
16.
Oh, 16. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Sarah. I looked at that 16 and I'm thinking, what happened during that timeline? We don't know what happened. The only clue we get is Clem says, "Not again, not again."
Yeah.
Thinking, ooh, whoa, there must be
something awful happened.
And I feel like Krista's gonna replace her original baby, let's just call him Omid Jr., with AJ, and is gonna take that role of a mother. But I also feel like, and I'm still saying this now, I hope fans and viewers agree with me, I still feel Lily is going to come back. She's going to make an appearance. I still feel it.
Especially since Angel Archie said someone saw the trailer of Lily back there.
Yes, exactly. I feel she is going to make a return, or she's making Easter, like what somebody mentioned here, some Easter egg hints of something happening. I personally feel like if you have 2 people you could play, like I think Clementine's gonna be like maybe 2 or 3 years later, and Clem's gonna be in her maybe like 14 or 15 years of age, and I feel like she'll really start developing as a person. And I don't know who agreed with me on this or who mentioned this, but I feel for 100% Clementine's going to have a romantic interest in Season 3. I feel it.
Nope.
I feel it.
Nope.
I feel it. I believe Clem's going to find a romantic interest in Season 3. I would like to see that.
Only if it's a girl.
Yeah.
Only if it's a girl. Don't fulfill.
David's still shipping older Clem and Jane. He's still shipping.
Yeah,
We're not going with that. Stop it.
No. This is what I've been shipping for a while. Older Clem and Ellie. Just make a combination game. It would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so my prediction.
I was just gonna wrap up saying, but overall, I want to see someone like Carter pop up again. I would, or just like what Hark said, Nate pop up. I would love to see one of those 2. A character similar to Carter, but worse. You think Carter's a good guy then afterward.
Carver, you mean, right?
Carver. Sorry.
Yeah,
Carver. I want someone to be like him.
It's
or
Carson.
Worse.
It's Carson's kid.
Right.